Welcome to Two Women in Crypto, a weekly podcast birthed on a whim by two women who are excited about the cryptocurrency landscape and have a shared passion about empowering others to step into the digital, tokenized world of the future. We offer tips, tricks, and our own individual insights as to how to begin to navigate this shift. We are not financial advisors nor experts. We are just here to encourage you to look at the possibilities. So welcome to the future. You're right on time. Good morning, Andrea. Gosh, can you believe it's June 1st? Good morning, good morning. Happy June.
June 1st. We are halfway through 2023.
Wild. In a blink of an eye. Time. There is no such thing.
It is. It's insane. And you know, just to kind of jump right into it too, it's just like when I look at artificial intelligence, I'm looking at cryptocurrency, this emerging technology, exponential growth, it's blowing my mind.
It is really, and we talked a little bit, of course, before we push that old record button, but it's such an exciting time to see. Unsettling to some degree if you're not, just kind of in flow with it all, but it is wild how quickly the landscapes are changing.
It's unbelievable. I'm kind of like, it's hard to like guesstimate like when we're gonna really see like this automation in our daily lives. But I
Right.
mean, it can't be too much longer, like a year and a half. Like I could see all the cities just being little robots, buzzing around everywhere and
Yep.
like no contactless payments, facial recognition. It's all coming, folks. Get ready. This is nuts. This is
It
nuts. We're in
is.
a paradigm shift.
We are. Get ready. Your banking systems will change in an instant.
I certainly believe so. It seems like they're prepping us for that with so many things about cyber security and just so many issues. And, we'll see how this whole thing plays out. But, at the end of the day, I'm super bullish on crypto. I feel really good about the market, even though I know it's going to take time. And, I think about exponential growth and I look at Ripple and the possibilities for XRP to be like utilized, that utility that XRP brings. And we got to talk about it because I just keep getting more and more excited.
I know you do. I know you're a huge XRP fan, as am I, but you've been in the crypto market quite a bit longer than I have been. I've been into it now, what, 2.5, maybe 3 years, 2.5 years,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
But this past weekend, as we had an extended holiday weekend here in the States, I had so much fun going through my portfolio and creating my, 2 to 5 year plan on what is in front of us is like, oh my gosh. And I have a very specific approach that I'm taking. And I just live very minimally so that I can continue to put any additional funds I can into these products, these projects. So it's super cool.
It's so awesome. I was on Twitter, the other day, and someone made a little video, took like a picture of himself and made a little video. He got a part-time job putting parts away at the shopping center. All of that extra money that he makes, he invested into cryptocurrency because
Yeah,
he knows when the market is boring, when the market goes sideways, this is when the wealth is made, not when we're in a bull run.
exactly. Exactly, for sure. So very cool. So you are our technical guru. You do the deep dive every single day. What did you uncover this last week? I'm sure there's many things.
Well, yeah, I mean, so we saw Ripple, so we're getting so much, and I want to discuss the hype, right? So we are getting a lot of hype around XRP. We know that these Bill Hinman emails are getting released June 13th.
Yep.
Okay, so just that alone is we could see the price of XRP has been pushing up. XRP is up over 30 something percent over the year.
Right.
right? So let's keep that in mind because that's a very good, investment. If you got in at the beginning of the year, you're up 30 something percent. But when I saw XRP pushing that 50 cent mark, you get excited, right? Because I'm not a technical analyst by any stretch of the means, but I do look at charts just to know where the resistance points are. And if we push through that 53, 55 cent mark, we're pretty clear, we could go up to like,
On this push, we definitely could be, and it's just we just are hoping it can close above 56, 55, 56 cents. If we can get some closes above that, then we know we have some additional space above us, which can be very, very fast.
yeah, absolutely. No, and that's the thing. And that's the one thing I remember, like when I was, when I got into crypto in 2017, like one, I didn't know anything. Like, let's just be honest. Like I knew about Ripple and XRP, and I was like, man, if they could pull this off, like I understood the concept because everything was a concept, right?
Sure.
If they could pull this off, they really could be a big part of like our new economy. Um, and then going through that bull cycle, and depending on if you look at Coin Market Cap or Coinbase or CoinGecko, they all have different all-time highs. But it was like between 280 something and like 375 was somewhere in that range was the all-time high for XRP. And when I'm looking at all of this hype, because I'm seeing people post, we're going to get a $10 XRP after the lawsuit. And I know that it could be possible, but we also have to understand a $10 XRP is a $1 trillion market cap.
Yep.
So a $1 trillion market cap is all the cryptocurrencies added up, right? Cryptocurrency is a $1 trillion market cap. Could XRP do that? It will do that, I believe, but will it do it after the lawsuit? Probably not. We're in a bear cycle. Maybe
Yeah,
if we were full run.
yeah, probably not. Maybe in 20, I mean, absolutely. I think at some point it will. But yeah, I mean, we have to take the growth in stride.
No, totally, totally. But is it 2, 3, 4, maybe even $5 XRP possible? Absolutely. So let's just see where this takes us. And, kind of like doing the deep dive, right? Because we know that Ripple bought Metaco, right? Um, Now there was back in 2021, I think it was January. I think we have the article in the description with Citi. So in 2021, we have Citibank chooses Metaco for digital asset custody. And who
Right,
just bought Metaco?
right.
Ripple.
Yeah.
So now Ripple is providing digital custodial services for Citi. Let's just keep that in mind. And it's not just Citibank, it's major banks all over the world. Ripple is now providing custodial services for. Very, very interesting.
There we go. The Swiss bank of the internet, the Swiss bank of crypto.
You know what I mean? So I absolutely love that. And then the other thing, with Citi is that they partnered with Volante as well, like back in the day.
Mhm.
And Volante was helping Citi, get up to speed with the ISO 222 messaging standard, which we're all going to for cross-border payments, right? We know this. We've been
Sure.
talking about it. So now they're going to be using Volante's Volpay. Now, I know people are like, what the hell is she talking about? But here's the thing. Volpay, which is part of Volante, incorporates XRP for that cross-border payment. So even though they're saying not directly that they're using XRP, I think after this lawsuit and kind of as we go into the Bitcoin halving in 2024, we're going to see all of this stuff come out. You know what I mean? Because that is huge. Because if Volante is using XRP with Citibank, we know Bank of America has been partnered with Ripple since 2017. Bank of America during the Swell conference said, we're going to be using XRP. We need regulatory clarity in the United States. So we keep our fingers crossed that the Judge Torres of this case, gives us clarity, at least for XRP.
And so the Hinman emails become available to us on the 13th. What is post that? Is there any other specific date?
So after that, it's the judge can today the judge can say, you know, whatever the summary judgment is, sales of XRP up until a certain point might be considered a security, but when the secondary sales of all XRP, well, that's a utility, that's a currency, that's whatever it is, a commodity. That's how we'll see it. So it might not be a full outright win for Ripple, but look at the advertisements that Ripple's been doing. Look at the way Brett Garlinghouse is speaking. They're not speaking like they've lost. They are growing, they are expanding, and I think they have a lot of partnerships that they're probably not even announcing, honestly. You know, so the date, it could be all the way through September. You know, we have no idea, but you know, we get that momentum and we get that excitement, especially when we're on YouTube and we're really into this project, you know, understanding what we own. It's exciting. So I hope it's over. I think there's a really good chance it could be over by July, but we don't know for sure.
Right.
Only they know.
Right. None of us have a crystal ball. It's all good. It's all good.
But at the same time, it's just so super exciting, right? We're watching Tranglo. Ripple bought 40% of Tranglo. They're opening up another corridor with the UAE, one of the largest corridors. So we are growing very, very quickly within this ecosystem. And on the XRP ledger, you know, they're building it out, you know, like, so we have XRP healthcare, we have like automated money markets coming. Like there's all of these things that are happening that I think we'll see more and more information as this lawsuit kind of subsides. But that hype alone, we know we're going to see a pretty strong pump. How strong? We'll find out. But my guess is $2-3. I hope it goes to 5, but you know.
Are you thinking that? I mean, that's a big leap from where we are right now, of course. None of us know for sure. Are you thinking that if that were to happen, are you thinking that's going to happen like on the release that it would go that high?
We'll see what we'll see what happens after the emails. I think the emails will definitely push it up, but once we get that summary judgment, it'll go up even more. And then let's see what happens. I mean, we saw in New York City, NASDAQ congratulated Ripple.
Right.
You know, for acquiring Metaco. So this is a really big deal. I wasn't sure at first if it was Photoshop. I had to do all this research, like what we were talking about before the podcast. Yes. What's real? What's not real? I'm like wanting to post it in our private Telegram group for Two Women in Crypto. And I did, and I took it down right away so no one could see it. And then finally I saw a link to, which is one of the companies that you could buy free IPO for Ripple, for Uphold, like all these super tech companies. So I follow them like daily. And if you're not following Link2, I highly recommend it. But I saw on LinkedIn, they posted it and I was like, okay, this is real. So that's really cool just to see that advertisement, that pushing. So Ripple is going to be going public and we'll see. We'll see, you know. So if you're an accredited investor, I mean, you can go ahead and get yourself some Ripple IPO shares.
Yeah, there you go. I'd be in line for that for sure.
Yeah. So again, I think this is like super exciting. You know, I think we're in this world all day long. I feel like everyone should be holding a bag of XRP, you know, just to make a really good trade, you know, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, But, you know, I look at it like I have my long-term XRP bags, and then I've been accumulating to make a trade. So it's like I'm covered both ways. And that's a good
Right.
way to do things.
It's that dollar cost averaging in and that dollar cost averaging out, so you can
Exactly.
get the baseline and take advantage of the pumps that we have because it's cyclical in nature and we never know. So when if you have a pump, if we have a pump to $3, you might want to consider taking some of your XRP off the table. Regardless, everybody has their own investment theses and their practice. You just need to keep those things in mind as you do trade or as you do place your portfolio or put your portfolio together.
Yeah, no, and I think that's like the smartest way to go. And like, like Kelly and I always talk about, like, you're never going to go broke taking profits, especially like I've been accumulating XRP. Like back in 2017, I had it written down. I was buying XRP at 6 cents,
Right.
but most of my accumulation is at 20 cents. So it would make sense. I'm going to, take your initial investment out, take some profits out, have your long-term bags, because we know in the next bull cycle, that's when we could probably see like a $10, XRP. That's what I'm thinking.
And there's so many projects. So a lot of people that may just, be beginning to look at it. There's so many high value projects out there. XRP, of course, is one of the ones that we speak about, I think, every podcast. But as you're going to talk about XDC here in a minute, amazing price point right now. So, I mean, all of them are really, there's nothing, you can't go wrong with any project at this point.
Yep. And that's why people are getting an extra job pushing shopping carts, because they know there is a huge transfer of wealth coming.
Right.
Once in a lifetime opportunity. I didn't even check the price of XDC this morning, but it was up. I think it was up like almost 15% yesterday.
Yesterday it had, based on that news, which I know you're going to tap on, and I'll check the price real quick.
All right, cool. So we know Ripple, right? Ripple is a big time partner with SBI Holdings, right? Which is like one of the largest financial companies in Japan. So SBI just partnered with XDC for tokenization, trade finance, and payments, right? So I think they'll use XRP for cross-border payments, maybe treasury, stuff like that. But when I look at R3 Corda, which is the blockchain that they use the token as XDC, a lot of this trade finance, they're partnering with XDC. So I can see like this next bull cycle with like Stellar and just a lot of these utility coins for cross-border payments. We are going to be fully adopted and switched over in this cross-border payments by 2025.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
and currently it's trading at three cents, and I think the surge was up to 4.5 for 0.045, I think, yesterday. But yeah, no, it's so exciting to see that. It's so exciting when there's a big surge like that coming in, especially on news.
definitely, definitely. So, a lot of this is just being patient. The market's still very, very choppy. We raised the debt ceiling last night. They signed a deal. How is that going to affect the stock market? There's so much speculation out there. But again, we dollar cost average. The market tanks. We dollar cost average a little bit harder that day. That's how I look at it. Knowing that we are moving into a new financial system that is based on technology. 100%. We're not going back.
Right.
We are not going back. And the dollar is not going to be gaining more strength over the next year or two. I mean, the BRICS nations, I feel like every day there's more and more people interested in joining this new trading coalition, not using United States dollars.
Well, and that's a really big conversations, but based on the sanctions that the US has placed upon other countries are thriving, stepping away from it. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic. So we'll still stay on task.
Yeah, yeah. No, but it's all connected. It's all very good. It's all very good. So one of the other things I wanted to talk about today too is today's June 1st, right? So Kelly and I, we record our podcast on Thursday, it goes live Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern time, 7
Right.
a.m. Pacific.
Mhm.
So this whole, all through these years, right? And again, since the beginning of cryptocurrency, getting released, China has always threatened to ban it. They go through these moments of time where they do ban it. Oh, we don't want Bitcoin mining, all of this stuff. There's no Bitcoin mining in China. Well, they went live today. They went live today. Okay. In Hong Kong, they're going live. So now, like, I can see this bull cycle being a big part of like coming out of Hong Kong, Singapore, Dubai, like all these other places, in the Middle East. And how long will it take for companies? They got to jump through a lot of hoops to get the exchanges and all these things. But once it's set up and the retail come in to trade
Mhm.
crypto, this, we'll see, we'll see what happens.
Yep, we're set up for that bull cycle just before the halving. So it's perfect. The timing is really it's great. It's exciting.
And it's so interesting, isn't it, Kel? Because like things seem to line up all towards that halving.
Oh, it's also synchronistic. I mean, there's a playbook, there's a rhythm, and the rhyme is just showing itself. So it's like every time there's a new thing, it's just like, okay, cool, that makes perfect sense. It just very synchronistic and
Yeah.
kismet, if you will, but all planned at the same time. So it's really cool.
Yeah, no, it's super cool. It's super cool because I know there are some people saying like today was going to start the new bull run cycle just because China's going live with retail trading. But, the more I looked into it, like when you're working with the Chinese government and going through their regulations and you have to make sure that you're matching everything that they want you to do, it might take a year, right, to get everybody fully on board. We'll see. We'll see. I know they have like a government trading platform. So I want to check and see if that was released. I think they were offering like 13 tokens, so not a lot. But we'll see how this plays out. But again, a huge company or country that's moving into cryptocurrency and digital assets, how is the United States going to respond to China moving forward with cryptocurrency and adopting it?
Right.
I'm
Well,
curious.
yeah, right. I mean, we're still buying. And by the way, those that are looking to access XRP and XTC, you can do that through Uphold. Not financial advice, but that's one of your options. That's
Nope,
it.
absolutely. Yep. Thanks for mentioning that. Yep. So, and I just wanted to mention some FUD too, right? Because I heard Biden, he's talking about, we gotta tax the Bitcoin miners 30%. Well, that didn't make it into the signed debt ceiling bill. So, we follow these things. Some people say like Biden says outlandish things. Senator Warren said some outlandish things yesterday. So you know what? Like it's all fun to scare you and to think that cryptocurrency is a scam. And again, if people don't understand like something like Bitcoin, that is like the biggest technological breakthrough that we have seen probably in our lifetime, right? Bigger than the internet. Like we can send value now through the internet without making a copy. It's no longer counterfeit. If I send you Bitcoin, it takes it out of my account, it credits your account. No double spend issue. And I don't think that we can like wrap our heads around it to be like, that is huge. That is a big, big, big deal. And people are like, Bitcoin's a scam. It's not a scam. Only 21 million, you know? I mean, we'll see what happens, but I'm
Yeah,
very excited. I'm
I
very
know.
excited.
I know it's good. Why? But that is why you do the deep dive because it's this very big passion place. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Very.
And like, we have a year, right? Like Kelly and I show up every Thursday And we make these videos because we know as the world changes, why not, you know, like dip your toe in it? Like, you know what I mean?
I have no problem with it at all. And that's why, like Andrea says, that's why we do show up every week, because it's like, this is exciting. And this is just one piece of it, what we speak of. There's the whole DeFi side. When we think about Pulse and Pulse Chain and all these other things, there's so many ways that you can get involved based on what makes sense for you and how complicated and or not you want to be. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
the whole world changing
No,
on
the
a dime.
whole world. And if you're ready for that DeFi, you know, I don't know if this is something we can offer a class of two women in crypto, or, you know, you could just meet with us individually. But like one of the things that I did during the week, like speaking of decentralized finance,
Right.
was I was able to transfer, like I was part of that airdrop for XRP. I got my free Flare tokens, only 15%, but I got them. Coinbase gave them to me.
Perfect.
So I created a Bifrost wallet, which is an app on my cell phone. I just downloaded the app. I sent my Flare tokens. I sent my Songbird tokens.
Hmm.
And then I was able to wrap them, right? So all, and it sounds so confusing and complicated, but it's literally you're pressing buttons, folks. You press the button, you wrap your Flare, you wrap your Songbird, and then boom, I'm providing the stability for the Flare network. Um, you know, by staking my coins, providing liquidity to that platform, and they pay you rewards. It's
Right.
a great way to make some passive income. So I took the time and I got this all set up. So now I'm earning rewards while helping a decentralized platform like Flare that's bringing smart contracts to XRP. Um, and now I'm just earning this passive income. So it's fantastic. And if you do that every single month, Flare's doing airdrops
Mm.
through February. So, you know, if you get it all set up, you could actually participate and receive, you know, these free airdrops over the, you know, that's what, 8 more months. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's one project I'm not involved in. So, but to that point, there are projects like
Right.
that that are really, really powerful
Yeah.
to really consider. So that's awesome. I'm so glad you got your Flare token though.
Yeah, me too. Me
Yeah.
too. So now I'm all set up so I
Awesome.
can participate in the rest of these airdrops and keep an
Yes.
eye on it. And again, like Kelly participated in Pulse Chain, and it's just
Right.
like you're going to be getting, you know, there's all these different avenues. It takes time, but you know, I mean, just reach out because chances are we've looked into the project and somehow we're part of some sort of DeFi staking or
Something, somehow,
liquidity.
I don't remember what I did, but I know. No, I'm just kidding.
I know. Good thing I have my book and I write it all down,
Oh
you
my
know?
gosh.
Like I literally forgot that I was staking my H bar. Like there's just so many things that I do. And it's like, and I look through my book and I'm like, oh, let me check. And it's very exciting.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
there's all kinds of different ways to make passive income or just build your bags by staking them in decentralized finance for the next year and a half
Yeah.
as we go into this next bull cycle.
Yes, and just know you don't have to make it complicated. You can simply buy into projects like XTC, XRP,
Right.
XLM, and
For
just let it
three
go.
cents.
You
Right.
know, you don't have to make it complicated. It just depends on how strong of a bandwidth you have and how you're really being led. It's very, very individualized. There are
Yeah,
some
for sure.
that can really manage all the complicated strings. So, yeah, just know there's no right or wrong way to approach it.
No, it's so true. I mean, at the end of the day, like even if you just wanted to buy a little bit of Bitcoin, just get into the
Oh, yeah,
game.
absolutely.
Because I feel like once you own a piece of it, you're just curious, right? That curiosity arises, and then you start to look into it, and then you realize, oh my God, they're changing our whole financial system.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
So, and
Oh my
as we're
God.
changing our whole financial system and everything's becoming automated, we should probably learn about some of these things to push us as like a buffer, right? Like we always say gold, silver, Bitcoin, look at some of these altcoin projects, pick your favorite, because I'm looking at how exponentially AI is growing and how it's going to disrupt our current like employment opportunities.
Oh, undoubtedly. Yeah, we started our conversation with that a little bit, but it is, it's crazy how quickly it's making its impact known.
Yeah, yeah. So I kind of made a list. There's a lot more. So I just want to, before I go into some of these AI projects, there's got to be at least 10, but I'm only going to cover a couple. Okay. So the first project I came across, it's called Fireflies AI. Really cool, right? So a lot of this is being sold as being people's like co-pilots and stuff. But, let's just say you and I are having a meeting. We can have this Firefly AI record, summarize, transcribe all these different meetings. And then you just, again, you could just search it and pull all the information that you need from it. So it's a really cool tool. And it's really going to affect like anyone, if you go into like a courtroom and, they have the transcriber and they're,
Mhm.
okay, her job, his job gone. You don't need that anymore. Some of the
Right.
customer service jobs, right? Gone. Gone. You know? So that's going to be like the first thing. Um, then there was another one which I thought was really cool. It's called IndexAI.io. So think of like ingesting. Kelly and I have 78 podcasts. We put it into this AI functionality. And if I was like, oh, Kelly, what was the number of that podcast where we talked about open banking? Because over a year ago, we were telling people how our banking system was changing. And then boom, you put it in and it tells you what podcast it is.
Sure. Yeah. Yes,
What a
indeed.
tool.
Yes, there's actually, and I don't know the name of it, and I think I mentioned, I can't remember the name of the podcast either that I followed, but there's actually some AI that you can install that will edit everything and cut as you're doing your podcast. And so at the end of it, everything's ready to go. It's just all done. So it's detecting the voice breaks and things of that nature. And it can emulate your voice over my voice. So I can become you, you can become me in terms of tonation and your voice with the flip of a switch.
We should do a whole podcast where I sound like you and you sound like me.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh.
How much fun would that be?
So this is leading us to how are we going to know what is real and what is not? What is considered real, physical, in the physical? I mean, because really, real is your own definition.
Yeah, I mean, we really needed ethics and some we need some sort of rights. I just we're not going to know what's real and what's not. We're getting to that point where sometimes we don't know. Is that really Biden, right? I always see like Biden's got 5 different clones floating around Twitter. Is that true? Is it not true? We have no idea. We
Right.
really don't. We have no idea what's true and what's not. But, last AI tool before we like move on. I this one, again, standard operating procedures for companies. Every single company, institution, it's called SOPs. Go to tango.us. Okay. So step-by-step organizational guides, right? Step-by-step training, all these things that companies do. So we're talking about technical writers, process analysts, compliance analysts, again, instructional designers, trainers. These are all very well paying positions. We don't need them anymore.
Yeah.
So Rowan had that great idea. What can you do? What, like, if I was a transcriber and I'm transcribing, right, for the lawyers and the judge at the courthouse, you
Right.
know, I looked up, okay, what are the positions that Firefly is hiring for? Well, it's software engineer, front end developer. It's really difficult with some of these positions to transition into something that's totally based in programming.
Right. Right.
And if you're a parent,
Yeah, computer sciences, that's where you want to be pushing your kids.
I mean, I mean, I know there's other things. I think there's like plumbing positions, but I know that, with citywide, like with the plumbers, they have all these piping. They have these cute little robots that are like this big. They go inside the pipe and they fix all the little holes for leakages, which is great because we're saving millions and billions of gallons of water. But when is it when is it going to be like, okay, well, now AI can do this kind of job for plumbing or this kind of job for carpentry,
Right.
3D printing, it's printing houses. Like, when is that going to evolve into, wow, instead of, if these materials cost this much money to build this house, I can just get a 3D printed house for half the price. We'll see.
Yeah, and it's delivered in a crate. You just put it up and you're good. Yeah. No, it's really hard to fathom. It's kind of like living in Cloud Atlas and not knowing really what you're going to get every time you wake up. It's like, what's today going to bring? Sure. It's very, 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 very quick, the changes that are upon us.
Yeah, and it's, and again, I think like quick is like almost like an understatement,
Oh,
right? I mean, this is
yeah.
exponential growth. This is nuts.
Yeah.
So I think about that bot that's taking orders at that Wendy's in Ohio, even though it's not bilingual yet. It will be, you know, but it's actually a chat bot like taking your order.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. I still remember, I know I'm dating myself when I first went into the grocery store here locally and that automated voice came over the intercom. It was a Safeway at the time. This is 20 years ago. And I remember how flippin' irritated I was that I was like, why is a computer talking to me? Why? It's just like so, and look at where we are today. So it's amazing to witness it though. I feel fortunate to be able to see this because I'm in a place of education around it. I'm not fearful of it. I'm just leaning into and watching it and, reveal itself.
Yeah, and I feel like, we're not going to stop this. We might disagree with it, but we're not stopping it. Just like look around, like 5G is coming, the Internet of Things are coming. It'll be in the cities first, but again, we're not going to stop it. So the more knowledgeable we are, and we can watch little videos and look at like these little security robots or the robots that are in hotels, the robots that are in some grocery stores right now. I have a client that lives out in Massachusetts, and she's like, the robot is at Stop and Shop and it's looking at the shelves that are empty and it calculates which shelves need to be stocked.
And then
So
place their
it's
orders. Yeah.
yeah, so it's not nationwide yet, but it's a lot more than it was a year ago, and these things happen so slowly and then all at once.
Well, and we've been talking about the fact that what is most valuable to companies is the data, right? And so if you think of Google or any email system or that we've used for however many years now, they know who we are. They know the incantation within which we type. They understand who we are. So there is that belief that soon, like our grandchildren, would be able to interact with us through a hologram in the same dialect within which we would normally speak because they have however many years of history as to how we communicate. And so it'll
I mean,
sound just like us. It'll use the
yeah,
same, for me, a very esoteric language. If I was down on my knees talking to, be very esoteric in thought. So it'll emulate that. So, which is pretty amazing, to think that perhaps my grandchildren, my great grandchildren will be able to have a conversation with me in a hologram fashion, but listen to how I would speak about the wind or whatever the case may be is pretty cool to think about. So
Yeah, so cool. It reminds me of some predictive programming from Star Wars when like Princess Leia pops up on that hologram and she's like, Obi-Wan Kenobi, like help me, kind of a thing. And now that's real. Like that's becoming more and more real. And did you see the FDA approved Neuralink for human testing on the microchip?
yeah, I saw that. But in reality, just I'm not saying I agree with any of these things, but the reality is this stuff has been going on behind the scenes for eons.
Eons.
Just not to our knowing. What's held behind the curtain is held behind the curtain until somehow somebody parts it. So yeah.
Yeah, I've heard Jerome Powell say that he's like they've been researching and developing blockchain technology for decades.
Right.
So a lot of this is behind the scenes, and now, we'll see how this whole thing plays out. But
Yeah.
I think we're gonna see what?
They've got their plan. I mean, this doesn't happen just overnight. So
No, and it's getting implemented now. So we'll see. Some of the inflation numbers came in high. I think Jerome Powell, we were all hoping it was going to be a pause. Now it looks like another small hike. So we'll wait and see. I think this summer could be pretty bumpy, and maybe, we'll see. There's so much speculation. No one knows for sure. Um, but if he does raise rates again, we'll see. We'll see how the banks can handle that. It's
when
going
is
to
the
be
next
very, very, I think the middle of June.
June? Around the 13th, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is all about the same time that the emails are coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm very interested to see, just how this all plays out. But again, all we do is just hodl, dollar cost average, and like I cannot stress enough, this is when we make our money. We don't make our money when Bitcoin is like, 60 grand again, when Pulse Chain hits, 25, 50 cents for the first time. Like now is the time to just start accumulating. You could do it super slowly, just like we always say, like, don't get that coffee out, make your coffee at home. Don't eat out as much, eat at home. However you can like scrape together, some of that money, you'll build yourself a little, cushion with the future of money that's going to be the money that we're using. When I look at Texas trying to pass the bills to have a digital based currency backed by gold and silver, that makes me really grateful that I hold physical gold and silver, right?
Sure.
So we do things now. So just in case something happens, I'm not saying the dollar's going away. Don't think it is, but these are turbulent times. There's so many things going on. We just want to be prepared.
Right. No, the dollar won't go away with a snap, but the hegemony is obviously waning. And so that's what we're trying to prepare
Exactly.
ourselves for. Yep.
Exactly. Yep. So yeah, so maybe we should put our next class together and do like a dollar cost average exit plan just to prepare. So we'll get that on the books.
No, sure. That sounds good. That sounds
Yeah, it'll be
good.
fun.
Well, happy June. We're almost to the full onset of summer with solstice right around the corner. Here in the Pacific Northwest, this light means so much to us. We're always so excited to have these long days. So, is there anything else before we close?
I think that's it. I hope everybody has a really good week. We are so close to June 13th.
Yeah.
And you know, we'll be that much closer to ending this lawsuit that has been going on forever.
Yes. Forever and a day for sure. All right. Well, until next time, thanks for joining us and
Huddle on.
Your hosts for Two Women in Crypto are Andrea Caldero and Kelly Lair. You'll find more information and details regarding the Two Women in Crypto membership, educational and informative class and event offerings, and more via their website, twowomenencrypto.com. Both Andrea and Kelly are available for speaking events and offer private consultations focused on helping individuals navigate the future. Until next time, huddle on.